Cancer, it's indescribable. It's an ugly, ugly present. It's like a gift that is wrapped in ugliness, but when it's opened up, you'll be surprised at the beauty that comes out. Because even though you got that ugly pain, you find that there is strength in the people that supports you, the beauty in the people that rally around you, the beauty in the strength that you didn't know that you had, the beauty in your family. You're 19. So it was an ugly gift that became a beautiful present. Good afternoon. My name is LuCinda Dyer-McGarrah. I work for the Fulton County Marshal's Department. I've been here for approximately about 5 years, and I am a caregiver for a breast cancer survivor. Okay, so she was 34 years old. Well, she is 34 years old. She's about to turn 35. She's my oldest daughter. Her name is 𝗂𝗳 Dyer. She was in denial at first. So probably I want to say about July of 2022, she knows she had a bump on her breast. And so she said, "Mom, I have a bump." And I said, "Go to the doctor and get it checked out." She let it ride. So then about November of 2022, she was like, "I'm going to go to the doctor because this thing is starting to hurt." I think she just thought maybe it was like a hair bump or something and that it would go away. And then she was like, "I'm going to go to the doctor. This thing is starting to hurt." And I was like, "Okay, I can't believe you waited this long." And so she did. When she went to the doctor immediately sent her for a biopsy after they felt the knot. And it's kind of funny because I was sitting right here at work when they got the results of the biopsy. They did the mammogram and the biopsy, and the doctor called, and they were trying to reach her. And my daughter works out vigorously, every day. And so she was at the gym working out, and they couldn't reach her. And so finally I called, and she answered the phone. So I'm on the phone sitting right here in this very spot. And the doctor said, "Kai, can you sit down somewhere?" And she told her, she said, "You have metastatic breast cancer." She said, "We have to be very aggressive." She said, "You need to make sure that when you go in there, if the doctors are going to throw the book at you, let them throw the book at you. You do everything that you can to attack this aggressively." Yes, she just had the knot with the pain, but later on we found out, once they did the mammogram and they did the biopsy, not only did she have the knot, she had lymph nodes under her breast that were also cancerous. She went through the chemo, which was hard, very, very hard. Chemo, she would like to describe it as it almost took her out. It was very hard. She went through the chemo. After chemo, then she had a double mastectomy, and they also removed the lymph nodes from up under her armpit. After that healing, she went through radiation, and she had radiation 5 days a week for 5 weeks. And so now she's going through physical therapy because she still doesn't have the full control, mobility of this arm to be able to raise it from the surgery. So she's doing physical therapy with that, and she's also taking chemo pills for the next 5 years. Her cancer is hormonal. It's HER2 positive. It's not genetic at all. We don't have a history of breast cancer in our family, and it was kind of shocking because most people tell you to get your mammogram at 40, and here she is having breast cancer at 34. I mean, it's gruesome. I went to every chemo appointment, and I stayed there the whole entire time. It's hard as a caregiver because I'm a mom, and a mom doesn't want to see their child suffer. And then a mom doesn't want to see their child have to go through that pain. And it's nothing that you can do other than pray for your child, and then to be there spiritually to encourage them to push through. So that's kind of, it's really hard. It's hard when you have to watch your grandchildren, because my daughter has 2 kids. They are both, she has a daughter that's 16 and a son that's 15. And as you can tell, they're the light of my life. They make me smile at every turn. So it's hard watching them watch their mom suffer and not know what's going to happen, because, you know, most people, when they hear cancer, they automatically think death. And so I had to remind them, that's not your mom testimony. We have to wait and see what God has in store for your mom. And so here we are a year later, their mom is a survivor, but it was really hard, because the first drug that she took was called 𝗕𝗰𝗵𝗴. They also referred to that as the red devil. And she used to think that the red devil was going to take her out. And it brought on a great deal of sickness, and it also brought on a great deal of anxiety. And so she pretty much was willing to give up with that 𝗕𝗰𝗵𝗴. And so then the doctor changed her to Tactol. And that was hard as well, because it brought on a lot of neuropathy. So the numbness, the feeling of the leg. So it was different. And one thing I noticed about the younger generation, when someone says something to them, they're literal and they take it. So she was initially told, just in the walkthrough of telling her what the process was going to be, they were saying that when you're doing chemo, it's probably going to have you down for a couple of days and then you'll be fine. Well, she wasn't down for a couple of days. Her treatments were every 2 weeks, but it was taking her almost an entire week to recover. So that was depressing to her, because she was being literal with them, meaning, okay, it's been 3 days, I'm not feeling better, we need to get better. So it was pretty gruesome, because, I mean, immediately after the first week of chemo, her hair began to fall off. So we as a family had to be there to support and to watch my husband as her dad cut her hair off. He shaved her hair off, and I thought it wouldn't hit me as hard as it did, because hair is just hair. But then you realize the totality of what you're actually going through, and it kind of hits you harder than you expected, and it really broke down my grandkids. But I think it also built them up and helped them to be strong, because they were there to be loving and encouraging and tell their mom that she's even more beautiful now that she doesn't have the hair. And so she embraced it, and we fought on through that portion. I am blessed to be able to say that our support system was awesome. My family rallied. People from my hometown rallied. People that I didn't even know. The Marshals Department rallied to be supportive. They were very understanding, and all the time that I'm having to take off, because it is something that you could never imagine. And the support system has been totally awesome. But her status now is a survivor. My child is a survivor. Yay, God. Thank you, God, for the surviving. She, like I said, right now is taking 5 years of chemo pills. And she's going through therapy. She just completed her first survivor's walk with the Fulton County Marshals Department, where she was honored with the American Cancer Society. And that was awesome. And this weekend, she will complete her second walk with the Susan G. Komen.
Come on, let's get a smile, survivors. Stop crying. Smile. Say yay, thank God. Yay, thank God.
So she is thriving and surviving. As it relates to the support system, you know, prior to my child having breast cancer, I kind of saw it from afar but with the veils on. And so I can't say that I saw the first hand of what people were going through. I participated in the walk. But now that I've actually been thrown into the fire, I tell most people, I would tell anybody, my first thing would be prayer. Trust God, because it's a process. And throughout that whole entire process, when you're leaning and trusting in God and standing on His word and being faithful to Him, it isn't anything that you can't do. I mean, there isn't anything. This was the hardest thing I've seen that I couldn't control, but I could control my faith. And my faith was to trust in God and watch Him bring my child through. And that's what He did. He's faithful and He's just. And that's exactly what He did. He gave me the strength to be encouraging to her. He rallied my family to be encouraging to her. And like I said, I had my marshal's department standing behind me, encouraging me, praying for me, asking me about my daughter. I mean, all those things matter. It matters. It matters to know that you are not in a fight alone. So if I were to encourage anybody, I would tell them, step out there and let people know that they're not alone, because you're in need of some encouragement, and it goes a long way.
All right.
You ready? I gotta get my stuff. Sister, don't cry. Look at Daddy, Kai.
Can't see it.
You got to stop crying to see it, Kai. Kai, stop crying to see it. Did you see it?
Yeah.